It started with a single post, just a casual question tossed into the storm of social media. But from the moment Turki Alalshikh asked fans if they'd want to see Jaron Ennis go to war with Teofimo Lopez, everything changed. Suddenly, this wasn't just another what-if fantasy matchup. It became a living, breathing possibility. And the internet, because this clash, if it happens, wouldn't just shake up two weight classes, it would shake the sport to its core. You've got Boots, the silent assassin of the welterweights, and Teofimo, the unpredictable flamethrower with every proof. Two champions, two different worlds, one chance to burn it all down and build something iconic. This isn't hype, this is tension, raw, real, and rising. Turki Alalshikh isn't just dropping casual tweets, he's throwing grenades into the boxing world. And tonight he lit the fuse on something wild. In a post that sent shockwaves through the sports fanbase, Turki asked one simple question: what would you think of a fight between Jaron Ennis and Teofimo Lopez? Not a fantasy matchup down the road, not something abstract. The way it was phrased, this felt like something bubbling just beneath the surface, like the wheels were already turning. And if you know Turki, you know he doesn't tease without a plan. That kind of question from a man who moves mountains in the fight game means this is real, and it could be coming fast. Now, for this to actually hit the ring, two very specific things need to fall into place. First, Teofimo Lopez has to handle his business on May 2nd against Arnold Barboza Jr. That's no walk in the park, but Lopez has done this dance before. He's flashy, confident, and unpredictable. When he's locked in, he's dangerous. But Barboza's hungry. He's been circling for a shot like this for years. Second, Ennis must take care of his WBA mandatory defense against Shakram Gyasov, a decorated Uzbek fighter with Olympic silver in his pocket and nothing to lose. Gyasov is a technician with power, and he's not coming to lie down. If Ennis overlooks him, everything crashes. But if both men win, the door swings wide open. Let's be clear, this isn't your typical matchup. It's a collision of styles, of weight classes, of personalities. Teofimo, the self-proclaimed takeover, has never shied away from danger. But jumping up to welterweight to fight a prime Boots Ennis? That's not just gutsy, that's borderline insane. Ennis is a destroyer, an undefeated machine with freakish athleticism and a complete toolbox. He just dismantled Imantas Stanionis like he was brushing dust off his shoulder. And the WBA? They took notice, elevating Ennis to super champion status and ordering him to face Gyasov within 120 days. The countdown's already ticking, but here's where it gets even more intriguing. Lopez, assuming he gets through Barboza, won't have a whole lot of attractive options left. The IBF champion Richardson Hitchens? Too much risk, not enough reward. Subriel Matias? A slugfest waiting to happen, and one Teo might not survive. Turki knows the math. A fight against Boots not only makes more money, it gives Teo a ready-made exit plan. If he loses, he can look into the camera and say, "I went to war with the best welterweight in the world." No shame in that, no loss of stock, just a bigger paycheck and a built-in excuse. It's smart business, plain and simple. And Eddie Hearn? You can bet he's licking his chops. The promoter of Ennis would love nothing more than to skip the risk of a tricky technical matchup with Gyasov and move straight to a high-profile clash with a name like Lopez. It's a fight that sells itself. Two explosive talents, two polarizing figures, and a shot at drawing global eyes to what could become one of the most dramatic stylistic matchups in recent memory. The build-up would be electric. The stakes? Sky high. And if it lands on a Saudi card or gets Turkey's full promotional machine behind it, we're not talking about just another fight. We're talking about a global event. But don't be fooled. This isn't just about big names and potential paydays. There's real tension in the air because this fight, if it happens, forces both men to step outside their comfort zones. For Teofimo, this isn't just a move up in weight. It's a leap into the lion's den. Ennis isn't just any welterweight. He's the kind of fighter who breaks opponents down with frightening precision. He switches stances mid-combination, stalks like a predator, and finishes with clinical brutality. Teofimo's fast, slick, and sharp, sure, but can his power carry at 147? Can he handle Boots' relentless pressure when the ring starts to shrink? That's the suspense Turki just triggered. It's not just a fight, it's a dare. And then there's Boots, quiet, methodical, and laser-focused. He doesn't talk much, but he doesn't have to. His fists do all the convincing. Ennis has long been one of boxing's worst-kept secrets, quietly bulldozing his way through the division, waiting for his breakout moment. This could be it. Teofimo Lopez brings a different kind of attention, a built-in audience, mainstream buzz, and a reputation as a generational talent. Boots has been waiting for the world to look his way, and a clash with Lopez could finally shove him into that global spotlight. For him, this isn't just another title defense. It's a moment to show the world world that not only is he the best at 147, but he's also a pay-per-view star in the making. Behind the scenes, it's a chess match, millions on. Turki's not just tossing out fan bait, he's testing the waters for something seismic. His influence in the sport has exploded, and he's been quietly rewriting the rule. When Turki hints at a matchup, people listen, because when he gets behind a fight, it doesn't just happen, it becomes a spectacle. Saudi Arabia has become the new epicenter of super fights, and Turki's the one holding the keys. If Boots vs. Teo ends up in Riyadh or Jeddah, it won't just be a boxing event, it'll be a show-stopping global statement, drenched in lights, luxury, and legacy. And that's what makes it all so electric. Every tweet he sends could be the start of something massive. But there's another layer to this that can't be ignored: legacy. Teofimo has always fought with a chip on his shoulder, like he's chasing ghosts that no one else can see. From the moment he dethroned Vasily Lomachenko, he's been demanding recognition, screaming for the spotlight, pushing to be seen. As more than just a one-hit wonder, a win over Boots would cement his name across 2 weight divisions. It would silence critics, rewrite narratives, and revive a career that's been filled with as many twists as triumphs. But a loss? Especially one where he's physically overpowered or technically exposed, that could reshape everything, and Teo knows it. You can see it in his eyes. He's gambling with his name, not just his record. The clock's ticking, Giasov is training like a madman in the shadows, and Barboza's smelling blood. Neither of them are pushovers. One wrong move and this whole super fight fantasy dissolves into smoke. But if both Ennis and Lopez do what they're supposed to do, buckle. Because this wouldn't just be a fight between 2 of the sport's brightest stars, it would be a collision of hunger, pride, and power. It's risky, it's wild, and it's everything boxing fans crave: the unpredictable, the unscripted, and the unforgettable. And thanks to one post from Turki Alalshikh, the fuse has officially been lit. Now it's just a matter of when and if this bombshell explodes. So now we wait. Boots has 120 days to handle his business with Gias. Teo has one night, May 2nd, to keep the dream alive against Barboza. And somewhere, Turki's already planning the next move. This isn't just about belts or bragging rights. It's about momentum, about rewriting legacies while the cameras. And if the stars align, if fate doesn't flinch, then we'll get a showdown born from chaos, ego, and ambition. The kind of fight that doesn't need a belt to feel like a title. The kind of fight that turns heads, splits timelines, and defines careers. All because someone dared to ask a question. Now the world is demanding an answer.